Alright, now I will present a little bit about the company background. DRB-HICOM was founded in 1990 and stayed in Shah Alam. In year 2020, DRB-HICOM, arising from a merge between Heavy Industry Corporation of Malaysia Berhad, which is HICOM, and Diversified Resource Berhad, which is DRB. DRB-HICOM was instrumental in the development of Malaysia's first national motorcycle and joint effort with worldwide automakers. Lastly, DRB-HICOM has more than 18 operation companies and 46,000 employees. Next I will present about the factor to consider having a segment reporting. One of the factors is nature of the product or service. It refers to what type of product and services that company provide. For the DRB-HICOM, they provide a wide range of vehicles such as motorcycles, commercial vehicles, defense vehicles, and customized vehicles, and many more. The DRB-HICOM also offers a service such as waste management, vehicle inspection, postal service, banking, and logistics. The second one is the nature of the production processes. It refers to how the product and the service are provided. For the DRB-HICOM company, the nature of the production processes, including manufacturing, assembly, inspection, distribution, sale, and after-sale service. Next is type or class or customer for the product or services. It refers how the company classify their customer. The DRB-HICOM classify their customer based on demographics segmentation, such as income, and also based on psychographic segmentation, such as preference and lifestyle. Lastly, is method used to distribute the products or provide service. For the DRB-HICOM, they are using distributors such as Bureau Mobile Sdn Berhad, Automotive Corporation Sdn Berhad, Aeon Automat Sdn Berhad, and HICOM Sdn Berhad. Alright, now there are two types of segment, which is business segment and geographical segment. The DRB-HICOM Berhad business segment is the automotive segment, as the company is a fully integrated automotive company involved in the entire automotive chain ecosystem. For geographical segment, it's about where the business has been conducted. For the DRB-HICOM, they are focusing to be the top tier automaker for the Asian market. Moving on to the shift of decision making and its responsibilities. The chairman of this company is Tan Sri Wan Zulkifli Wan Arifin, and his responsible is to ensure the board's effectiveness and conduct by focusing on strategy, governance, and compliance. He also playing role to promoting constructive and respectful relations between directors and management. His other role also to ensuring a smooth, open, and constructive dialogue between the board and shareholders. He can't afford to maintain this company performance alone without any great people behind him. So, Tan Sri Wan Zulkifli Wan Arifin currently being assisted by the other leaders, and you can see the lineup of the leader on this slide.
Next, we will proceed to process identifying the segment. So, we will use the 10% threshold test in order to identify the segment. There are three ways of 10% threshold test, which are the revenue basis, which is the revenue is more or equal to 10% of combined revenue of all operating expenses. Next, we have profit basis, which is the profit and loss which are higher or equal to 10% of total profit of profit-making segment. Lastly, we have asset basis, which is asset is more or equal to 10% of combined assets of all operating segments. But the information for operating segment that not meet the 10% threshold requirement and are not classified as reportable segment is to be combined and disclosed under all other segment category. For this case, the DRB-HICOM uses 10% threshold test, which is 10% of total revenue. The next process to identify the segment is 75% of total revenue requirement, which is the combined external revenue of identified operating segment must be at least 75% of total external revenue of entity. If total external revenue lesser than 75% of total revenue, so the additional operating segment identified as reportable segment. But if total external revenue is more than 75% of total revenue, so non-reportable is included in operating segment. For the reproduced segmental report part, according to the calculation shown using 10% threshold test of revenue basis, there are only two reportable segments identified that consist of automotive and postal operating segment of 65.06% and 11.89% respectively, since aerospace and defense, banking, service, and properties does not meet the requirement of 10% threshold test will be combined together as all other segment category in segmental reports. In order to have at least 4 reportable segments and 1 non-reportable segment in DRB-HICOM company, a new adjustment of operating segment will be created as described in the following segment. These are addition in banking segment and service segment amounted to 5,000 ringgit each, and declining the automotive segment amounted to 1 million ringgit in new operating segment. After the adjustment, the DRB-HICOM will have 4 reportable segments and 2 non-reportable segments. As comparison, the new segmental report using the adjustment of new operating segment will be changes in reportable segment as per calculation. By using revenue basis, there will be 4 reportable segments as the stated percentage is exceeding 10% of combined revenue of all operating segments by the DRB-HICOM that comprise automobile, postal, banking, and service segment, which are 57.16%, 11.89%, 12.96%, and 11.18% respectively. Aerospace and defense and properties will be reported as all other segments as it not fulfill the threshold test according to revenue basis. However, if DRB-HICOM believes that the information in non-reportable segment is significant to the user in financial statement, the entity may choose to include aerospace and defense and properties as reportable segment by applying the 75% test rule has been satisfied by the company of 93.04%. Therefore, the entity may simply ignore the aerospace and defense and properties. The advantages of segmental report is lower cost of capital, which is risk for investment in equity of company that disclose complete information is compared with withhold information. Next, transparency and better insight, which is evaluate and monitor performance of the management. Lastly, better predictor of profitability, which it is better predict where a segment are involved in diverse activities. But the disadvantages of segmental report are emphasis on the present, which is too much focus on short-term number and data manipulation, which this will be reported in the true management eye style and cherry-pick data and metric paying.
Part B, A. Interim report. The basis of the preparation of interim report. Basically, we have two methods, which is integral method and discrete method. Number one, integral method it is also known as a part of annual, where it is viewed as a part of larger time frame. It is a fraction of the annual report. And number two is discrete method. It is a separate period or known as a self-standing, and the report usually prepared on a periodic basis. B. Two accounting policy used in preparing the interim report. Accounting principles are the foundation of accounting according to GAAP. These principles are used in every step of the accounting process for the proper presentation of the financial statement of the business. Two accounting policy used is 1. Revenue recognition principle, and 2 is historical cost principle. revenue recognition principle is mainly concerned with the revenue being recognized in the income statement of an enterprise, while historical cost principle ordinarily recorded in the accounting record at the price paid to acquire it at the time of its acquisition, and the cost become the basis of the accounts during the period of acquisition and subsequent accounting period. C. The types of interim report prepared by the company. As we can see, on statement of comprehensive income and statement of financial position of DRB-HICOM, they prepared the statement quarterly, which is every 3 months ended.
Alright, now I'll continue this presentation. As a public listed company in Kuala Lumpur Stock Exchange, it is a requirement for them to prepare an interim report on quarterly basis. The period for current interim report and its comparative shall be determined for each of their financial statements. The first one is statement of financial positions, where the period for current interim report will be from 1st January 2021 until 31st December 2021, while the comparatives will be from 1st January 2020 until 31st December 2020. Based on this tabular format, you can see that the period will be same for statement of changes in equity and statement of cash flows because it is cumulative, but it will be different for statement of profit or loss. As for statement of profit or loss and comprehensive income, it will comprises two things, which is year-to-date and 3 months. For year-to-date, the period for current interim report should be from 1st January 2021 until 31st December 2021, while the comparatives will be from 1st January 2020 until 31st December 2020. But for 3 months, the period for current interim report will be from 1st October 2021 until 31st December 2021, while the comparatives will be from 1st October 2020 until 31st December 2020. Next, we'll proceed on proposed adjustment to the financial statements of DRB-HICOM BERHAD. The first adjustment will be the company purchased an intangible assets amounting 1.2 million ringgit by cash on 1st October 2021. The asset also has a definite useful life of 5 years. So this adjustment should be in accordance with MFRS 138 intangible asset. Since the intangible asset has a definite useful life, we should compute the amortization expenses for 3 months and divide it by 5 years. The amortization expenses of 60,000 should be treated in statement of profit or loss to be set up against gross profit and in arriving profit before taxation. The current value of intangible assets can be calculated by deducting the amortization expenses from its purchase cost. For this adjustment, the effect will increase the amount of intangible assets and decrease the value of bank balance and cash deposits by 1,140,000 ringgit. The second adjustment is for the transfer of property owned by the DRB-HICOM BERHAD to third party on 30 June 2021. Let's say the property has been purchased on the beginning of period and purchasable throughout 20 years using straight line method. The fair value on the date of transfer is 14 million ringgit. So, this adjustment should be in accordance with MFRS 140 investment property. Firstly, we need to find the fair value of such property by deducting with the depreciation expenses of 6 months. Since we assume that the property can be purchased at the beginning of the period, then we will find the difference between carrying value and the fair value of the property. So the difference will be treated in other comprehensive income as surplus on revaluation of property in accordance with MFRS 116 property, plant and equipment, while the depreciation expenses will be treated in statement of profit or loss and to be deducted against gross profit. Now you can see an extract of statement financial position as at 31st December 2021 showing the figures before adjustments and after adjustments. The current value of property, plant and equipment were decreased, and there is an increase in the value of investment property after considering second adjustment. As for intangible assets, the current value were increased, and there is a decrease in the amount of bank balance and cash deposits due to the first adjustment. So I think that's all from us. Thank you.